In this fast-moving world, how often do we truly pause to breathe? We wake up rushing, scroll through endless screens, worry about the future, and replay the past over and over again. Our minds are full, yet our hearts feel empty. Have you ever noticed how easily we lose peace over the smallest things? A delay in traffic, a harsh word, an unexpected setback. It takes only a few moments for calmness to turn into chaos. We try so hard to find peace through meditation, travel, distractions, and success, yet somehow it keeps slipping away. It feels like chasing clouds with our bare hands. But what if I told you the peace you're looking for isn't lost? It's right here, within you, waiting to be rediscovered. Today's story is about a young monk who learned this truth in a way that changed his life forever. A story that might help you find the calm you've been searching for to. So, listen till the end, because sometimes one simple story can open the door to a whole new way of living. Long ago, in a quiet monastery hidden deep in the mountains, there lived a young monk named Tenzin. He was kind, sincere, and dedicated, but inside, his mind was restless, constantly filled with thoughts, doubts, and endless questions. Every morning, he would sit for meditation, hoping to find peace. But instead of silence, he heard noise, the noise of his own mind. What if I fail my duties? What if I'm not good enough? Why can't I stay calm like the other monks? The more he tried to silence his thoughts, the louder they became. No matter how long he sat, peace never came. One day, feeling frustrated, Tenzin went to his master, an old monk known for his deep wisdom and gentle heart. "Master," he said softly, "I've tried everything: meditation, prayer, discipline, but my mind still runs wild. I can't find peace. What am I doing wrong?" The master looked at him with kind eyes and smiled. "My son," he said, "follow me." Together, they walked through the garden behind the monastery. The morning sun bathed the leaves in gold. Birds sang gently, and a soft breeze carried the scent of blooming jasmine. The master stopped near a small vine growing by the path. Its green tendrils were tightly tangled around themselves, knotted and twisted in confusion. He pointed to it and said, "Do you see this vine, Tenzin?" "Yes, master," the boy replied. "It's struggling," the master continued. "It's trying to grow upward, toward the light, but its own knots are holding it back. Does that look familiar to you?" Tenzin looked at the vine carefully and slowly realized what the master meant. "My mind," he whispered. "It's just like this vine." The master smiled again. "Yes, my son. Most people try to untangle their minds the same way this vine tries to free itself, with force. But force only tightens the knot." The young monk frowned. "Then how do I free it, master?" The master picked up a small gardening tool and began loosening the soil around the vine's base. Then, instead of pulling the knots, he gently guided one small tendril toward a nearby bamboo stick. "Do you see?" he said. "Sometimes peace doesn't come from fighting the problem. It comes from giving your mind a new direction, a gentle anchor." Tenzin watched silently as the vine began to stretch upward, slowly freeing itself as it found support. The master continued, "When your mind is restless, don't fight it. Don't force it to stop. Instead, redirect it toward kindness, toward breath, toward gratitude. With time, the knots will loosen themselves." That evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Tenzin sat by the temple pond. He watched the ripples spread across the water every time a leaf touched the surface. He realized that peace was never about forcing stillness, it was about allowing it. The moon rose, and for the first time in many nights, his heart felt calm. The next morning, during meditation, thoughts still came, but he didn't push them away. He simply noticed them, like clouds passing through the sky. And slowly, something miraculous happened. The noise inside him began to fade. Days turned into weeks. The restless monk, who once battled his thoughts, now walked with quiet grace. He still faced challenges, still had emotions, still made mistakes, but they no longer controlled him. He had found something far greater than silence. He had found peace in presence. One evening, his master asked, "Tell me, my son, what have you learned?" Tenzin bowed and said, "I learned that peace is not a reward for controlling the mind. It's the result of understanding it. The mind is like water. When you try to hold it too tightly, it slips away. But when you let it flow, it becomes clear." The master nodded with a smile. "My son," he said softly, "true peace doesn't mean a life without noise or struggle. It means having calmness even in the middle of it. That is the lesson. So, my friend, how often do you fight your own thoughts, hoping to find peace by force? How many times have you tried to silence your mind, only to feel more restless? Maybe it's time to stop fighting. Maybe it's time to loosen the soil around your heart and give your mind a new direction toward kindness, patience, and acceptance. Because peace doesn't live in the absence of chaos. It lives in the gentle stillness you create within it. And once you find that stillness, you'll realize it was never gone. It was always within you, just waiting for you to return. Days passed and seasons changed. The young monk, Tenzin, continued to live with a newfound sense of stillness. He no longer tried to force his mind to be quiet. He simply observed it, like a river flowing endlessly between mountains. But one morning, as he swept the courtyard, he noticed a group of new students struggling with their meditation. Their faces showed the same frustration he once felt, the same endless battle against their own thoughts. He smiled softly, walked up to them, and said, "Would you like to see something that once changed my life?" The students nodded curiously. Tenzin led them to the same small garden where his master had once taken him. The vine that was once tangled and twisted now stood tall and healthy, its green leaves shining in the morning sun. It had grown strong, not through force, but through gentle care. "Look closely," Tenzin said. "This vine taught me the greatest lesson of all. Peace doesn't come from control. It comes from understanding." One of the young monks frowned and said, "But Master Tenzin, every time I sit to meditate, thoughts come like waves. How can I stay calm when my mind won't stop?" Tenzin smiled kindly. "My son, when waves rise in the ocean, does the ocean fight them? No, it simply allows them to pass. You must do the same. Don't fight your thoughts. Watch them, accept them, and let them go." The monks listened carefully, their eyes filled with wonder. That night, as silence filled the monastery, Tenzin sat under the old banyan tree. The moonlight fell gently on the pond nearby, and fireflies danced in the cool breeze. He closed his eyes and whispered, "The mind is like this pond, disturbed when touched, calm when left alone. He remembered his master's voice: when you stop forcing the world to be still, you find stillness inside yourself. Those words had become his truth. He realized that life outside the monastery worked the same way. People chased peace by running faster, doing more, achieving more, but in their chase, they lost the very thing they were searching for. Peace doesn't come from getting everything under control. It comes from letting go of the need to control. The next morning, travelers from nearby villages visited the monastery seeking advice. One of them, a young woman, asked, "Master, my mind never rests. I wake up with worries and sleep with fears. I've tried everything, prayers, music, books, but nothing works. What should I do?" Tenzin listened patiently and then said, "When you hold a glass of water, it's light at first. But the longer you hold it, the heavier it feels. The same happens with your worries. Don't try to throw them away, just learn to set them down, even for a little while. Rest your mind." The woman's eyes softened. For the first time, she smiled with relief. Over the years, Tenzin became known not as a monk who preached peace, but as one who embodied it. He taught through silence, through presence, through the gentle calmness in his words. Whenever people came to him seeking wisdom, he would simply ask, "Have you listened to your breath today?" Because that's where peace begins, in the quiet rhythm of a single breath. One day, many years later, when Tenzin's hair had turned silver, he walked once more to that same garden. The vine still stood strong, now spreading across the entire wall of the monastery. Its tendrils reached upward, glowing in the golden light of the setting sun. He sat beside it, closed his eyes, and smiled. He whispered softly, "You were right, Master. Peace was never outside. It was always within." The gentle wind carried his words into the distance, a whisper from a heart that had finally found its home. "Now, my friend, let me ask you something. How long have you been searching for peace? How many nights have you spent trying to silence your thoughts, only to feel more restless? Maybe you've been holding your worries too tightly, just like Tenzin once held his thoughts. Maybe it's time to set them down. Take a deep breath and let it go. Peace doesn't mean your problems disappear. It means you stop letting them control your mind. Every day, you get to choose to live in chaos or to live in calm, to fight your thoughts or to guide them gently. And maybe, just maybe, the moment you stop forcing your mind to be calm, it will finally become calm on its own. So the next time life feels heavy, remember the vine in the garden. Remember the pond that clears itself when the wind stops blowing. Remember that you don't need to fight your way to peace. You only need to return to yourself. Sit quietly, close your eyes, and breathe. Let every inhale remind you that life is still happening. Let every exhale remind you that you can let go. That's where peace begins, not tomorrow, not somewhere far away, but right here, right now, inside you. Because the secret to inner peace is not about escaping life. It's about being fully present in it, calm, aware, and alive. If this story touched your heart, take a moment right now to breathe in gratitude. Be thankful for your life, your health, your journey, and for this very moment, because it's all you truly have. And remember, you don't need to be perfect to be peaceful. You just need to be present. Until next time, stay gentle with your mind, kind to your heart, and at peace with the beautiful life you already have.